Hello and welcome back to our garden for a quick update video, something very short. A while ago I shared with you how I grow sweet cherries or cherry trees as espalier, and today I want to give you a quick update on how they're actually doing because they are in full bloom right now, and I thought this might be just the perfect moment to take you with me into a part of what used to be my orchard and kitchen garden and now is more of my rose and cut flower garden with cherry trees in it. But still, I think it's definitely worth having a look at it, so come and join me in the garden. Where we are standing now, parts of it used to be the kitchen garden, but I kind of transformed it a little bit because I really wanted to have a cut flower garden, and I wanted to create another little bit of a border, which you see here, where I want to focus on the color combination of creamy yellow and soft pinks, because I had a lot of people say they don't really like the combination of pink and yellow in the garden, and in terms of disagree a little bit with it. I've once seen pink and orange and I thought they look fantastic, and I think these like pastel colors of a pastel yellow and a pastel pink would be very beautiful. Here, this is where the kitchen garden was. Now I have some roses, I've got some tulips here. And in the back there, you see number one, the rubble from the neighbor, because sadly, he decided to let down all of his shrubs in the back there. There's a slope still, and there used to be elder and hazel, and it all looked very pretty, kind of like a green jungle. And now there's nothing. He doesn't plant anything, so I was a little bit like, oh, it's very sad, because now I get to see everything in the back. Maybe even more important so, that these espaliers are going to pick up some growth and that they are going to develop very well and nice over the next coming years. In general, if you want to grow something as an espalier, fruit trees work very well with that. Traditionally, you do it with apple, pear, but with cherries too, and I have two different varieties here. First one is lapins or lapins, however you want to pronounce it, and cordia is the second one. So when you grow fruit trees, you have to do your research and know, do they need to have a second tree in order for pollination to take place? Lapins doesn't need that, but it's recommended to have a partner because then fruiting will be better. Cordia, on the other hand, needs a second tree, so it would be just ideal that I planted both of them together on the same espalier. How this structure works is I have these vertical poles here, and then as a horizontal I came in with some very sturdy hazel canes in which I could tie in these trees here. In the beginning I made a decision. You have your main trunk, and off it you had some branches. I took some that I tied to these horizontal canes here. Some others I've clipped off. Still, as all of this growth and as I want to hide whatever is hiding there behind there, I made a decision that some of these that come out here, I'm going to leave them a little bit bushier. In theory, what you want is that these horizontal growings, they're going to shoot up. And those new shoots you will cut back to 3, maybe 4 eyes, so that on those you will have nice big clusters of blooms. What you see here is that it grew up until here last year. This is where it flowers, and this year is a growth from this year, which I've already tied in. The funny difference about the two varieties is that lapins, which is this one, doesn't produce a lot of the shoots that kind of want to grow vertical. So I have to have an eye on it in long run if it's going to change, but still it has a lot of flowers, and last year I already had my first harvest, which was lovely. So if I just step over here now, you see the difference with cordia. Cordia, it has produced these shoots that go up here, and I could already clip them off a little bit. And I have wonderful clusters of blooms here. It looks really nice, so I think it's going to be a very nice harvest this year. What you see too is that this one here still has a leader and a shoot up until here. And I think this is the maximum height that I want. So if it decides to grow higher, I'm going to clip it off. Because here I can still reach everything if it fruits and just pick them without needing to have a ladder or anything. So these are espaliers. You can also have stepovers, which in theory is pretty much the same, but way shorter. So it's maybe like 50 centimeters up to, I think, 80 centimeters, because you can step over them. And traditionally, you use that method in a kitchen garden as a little hedge or to divide different areas within your kitchen garden, because you can have fruit trees on a very small space and scale, as you can see here. So moving forward, I think it was a good start. And I'm really happy and excited to see how they're going to perform. And I'm fingers crossed hoping that later on in the year we can do a little harvest video here too. Last year I harvested a few cherries, but this year it looks really well and even more promising to how it looked last year. That's it for today's video. Some of you asked for a little update how the espalier cherries are actually doing, and generally, personally, I'm happy with that. One of the things that just happens here, and I really think it is a general thing with hardwoods, but also in the climate zone here, it always takes like 3-4 years before any kind of trees that I plant really get established. I think mainly for the root system, and then suddenly they start to grow. So I'm expecting that this year, latest next year, those cherries are really going to pick up with more growth. In the meantime, I'm really get to enjoy these wonderful tulips here. I planted these specifically for the vase to come in and cut some of them, and this is exactly what I did for Easter already. I had a really nice bouquet of fresh tulips for Easter time. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up if you decide to subscribe to my channel, or if you decide to leave me a comment here. I'd be very happy to welcome you next time around, so take care guys, bye.